Hi friends and welcome to my Flosstube. My name is Paula. You can find me on Instagram at the 502 Stitcher. Today is Friday 18th, 2025 and this is Flosstube number 42. If you're new here, I hope you like to stay and subscribe and stay around. And if you're a returning subscriber, thank you so very much. I greatly appreciate you coming back and watching all my videos. It's been a little bit over a month, about a month and a half since I've been here last. I'm sorry about that. Life's just been really hard right now. If you're in America, you understand. And I just need to unplug, kind of concentrate on my family and not feel so much pressure to make sure that I was, banging out whips and all that stuff. I just kind of, needed to pull back. I took a lot of time to just work on one project for like 3 or 4 days, which actually really helped, me feel better and then helped also get things done. So I have quite a few things that fully or finished and some full finishes. I think I got like 5 or 6 fully finishes and then quite a handful of finishes. And then I have a lot of whips I've been working on, some new starts. So I have all that to show you. Before we jump in here, I'll go ahead and give you a little life update. The biggest thing around here has been the weather. Right now it's sunny, beautiful. I think it's, if I look at my thing, I don't have my temperatures on up on my computer, but it's been nice and warm. Right around the 70s, but last week and the week, 2 weeks before that, and even actually right after my last video, we had a couple hailstorms come in, which is not normally for us, where it looked like there was snow on the ground. There was so much hail outside, and I think we had 2 different storm systems that did that. And then the week of spring break that the kids were out, which was about 2 weeks ago, we had multiple tornadoes. Then we had 4 or 5 days of heavy rain and flooding. So it's been a mess around here. Our house, thank goodness, was fine. We did have the multiple tornado warnings that had tornadoes around us. We were okay. I did have to get the kids out of bed multiple nights in a row, around 1, 2 o'clock in the morning. But like I said, we were fine. My husband, his work, right where it happened is when the tornadoes touched down was right around his work. His building was one building over from a building that was completely flattened. The building on the other side of him lost a lot of walls. And then actually, I used to work, and my dad worked most of my childhood in a building across the street from the building that was flattened that lost a lot of its roof. So thankfully, though, nobody was hurt or anything through that tornado. I think they said it was F3 because it was in the middle of the night. Nobody was at work, and most of those buildings are like warehouse type buildings and like smaller buildings. So there's not a lot to them. But like I said, thank goodness, he was okay, or everybody was okay, and all that stuff. But then, like we said, we had 4 or 5 days of rain after that. And they're predicting us to get anywhere from 10 to 20 inches of rain. I think we got, if I saw right, we got around 11 inches or so of rain. So quite a bit of rain. I think they said the worst flooding since like 1998. So when I was back in high school, not to date myself, but I do remember that flood too. We were out of school for a couple of weeks, but so the kids had spring break during all that. And then the next week they got an extra 3 days off and then a half day before they had to go back. So during spring break, sorry, this gets so long. During spring break, my daughter, my middle kiddo, she is 12. She's starting to get in the paranormal world, which I've always thoroughly enjoyed it. I watched all of the paranormal shows on the Travel Channel, Discovery Channel. Here in Louisville, we have Waverly Hills, which was a TB hospital. Unfortunately, a lot of people did lose their lives, but you can go and visit it. When I was in high school, before it was open to public, most teenagers went up there and did their own investigation. I was never brave enough to do that. My husband did, but now it's all cleaned up and you can go on tours. And we did a tour, I want to say about 7 or 8 years ago, maybe a little longer than that. Me and my husband did a day tour for my birthday and really enjoyed it. And Michaela, my middle kiddo, she wants to go, but you have to be 13 to be able to go. So we're hoping, there's looking at the tours, they're going to have one open after her birthday. So hopefully she'll be able to go. But another thing we have here is the Goat Man's Bridge. Without going into the big old story, because I don't know quite all the story, it's supposed to be half man, half goat that hangs around the bridge with a light. It's supposed to be at night, but we went during the day. And it's only like about 15 minutes down the road from us. So we went down there and looked at it. And I asked her if she wanted to get out and look around. She was like, nope. But we had that, and then we went out for lunch and had a fun day with that. Also, we went and saw the new Minecraft video or movie at the theater, so the kids enjoyed that. Not my cup of tea, but I didn't really understand what was going on. I don't play the game, but the kids enjoyed that. We had a couple of visits up to Cincinnati Children's Hospital for different doctor appointments. It's about 2 hours away from us, so we did that. Got surgery scheduled for the summer. Then baseball started. My youngest kiddo, if you're not new here on here, she has a disability. She is has a rare neuromuscular disease and is trach and vent dependent and uses a wheelchair. Here in Louisville, they have a team called the Miracle League of Louisville, and it is a team for kiddos with disabilities. No matter how unaffected by the disability they are, or how severely they are affected by their disability, they are able to play baseball. It's an amazing thing. They have local teams on both the college, like U of L, Bellarmine, Spalding. They have teams that come out and help be buddies with them, or the high school teams do. So they get to hang out with, an older kiddo or an adult, I guess, to hang out, to be their buddy. They have a game this week. So she's really excited. She has so much fun. Every kid is cheered and clapped for and celebrated for everything that they do during that game, and they just love it. You can just see the joy in all those kids' faces. So we got baseball going on. So she's really excited about that. I had my birthday on April 12th, and because of all the flooding, Thunder was canceled. It was supposed to be that weekend. So we're here in Louisville. We're in Louisville, Kentucky. So we had the Kentucky Derby, and the Thunder of Louisville is a kickoff for Derby. Because Easter is this coming weekend, they moved it up a week. But because of all the flooding, they had to cancel it. So you don't want like 500,000 to 1 million people down there on the riverfront with flooding. So they unfortunately had to cancel that. So Easter is this weekend. If you celebrate Easter, I hope you have a wonderful Easter holiday. And if you don't celebrate Easter, I hope you have a wonderful weekend and you're able to get some things done that you wanted to get done. So since we covered all that long life update, we will go ahead and go into my finishes. The very first thing I had, I'm going to put my paper out before I forget. Sorry, I almost dropped my phone. Is from Hobby Lobby. I had sent a piece to be fully finished for them. I've never had anything professionally framed, but took that out to there. I'm going to take a drink really quick. I don't talk a lot, and then I get on here. My throat gets dry, I start coughing, allergies, all that fun stuff. So I apologize. Like I said, this very first one, it is a piece from Flea Market Flowers from Lori Holt. I started this right when I first started cross stitching. I started this for my anniversary and got it done. Just sorry about that. Just knocked it off. But I finished it just on New Year's Eve. It is the Call for Colors. I got the floss pack from Backwater Shop, and I started it on 25 count potato that I got from 123 Stitch. It just turned out beautiful. I love it. I'm overall happy with the way they framed it. The only thing is there's a piece of thread right here, and then there's one more. Oh, right here. And so there's a piece of little thread on there. I want to take it back up there and be like, hey, can you, unframe it and pull it out? But my husband's like, they'll probably hate you. You don't want to be a Karen to do that, but I kind of want to. Would you take it back up there to get that done, or you just be okay with it? Here's the back of it. They put the little stoppers on it to keep from damaging your walls. A little hanger. But like I said, overall, I'm thoroughly excited. Love how it turned out. So I'm gonna set that down on the floor so I don't knock it over. And on my last Flosstube, I had somebody ask if I could break down what the cost was. So I want to know. I would want to know too, because you know how much this stuff costs. I used a gift card I got from Christmas, so actually, technically, I guess if you look at it, it was free, but not really. But the overall cost was $109.66. The frame itself, they claim you get a discount, but they sell you the frame for that price. It is $44.66. I did get the museum glass. They had a piece of like kind of like a sample piece of glass of regular glass and then the museum glass. So I picked that because just the colors on it was way different. Like you could really see really curly through it. The other one was kind of cloudy. It didn't remind me of like real frames, but whatever. But that was $36. For them to actually mount it on the foam board, all that stuff was $15. And I thought for $15, let them do it, you know. So that was fine with me. And then they did a spacer around the edge of it because with needle art you don't necessarily want it to be up against the glass. Over time it could ruin your stitches. And I thought for something I don't plan to, ever remove from it, I was gonna pay for it. So you can see, I don't know if you can. There is a space in between that glass, and you kind of see on the edge of the frame. But like I said, I'm thoroughly happy with it. Love how it turned out. And if I have something that is need to be framed, I'd be more than happy to take it up there. I don't remember if I told you that the size of the frame was 12.5 by 13 and 3/4 of an inch. So it's an awkward size, but which is why I wanted to get it framed. But I was really happy with it and would take something up there again. So I know some people have really good luck with their Hobby Lobbies and some people don't. And I know it depends on who's working there. But like I said, I was overly happy with it. So now I'll go ahead and show you some more muffly finishes I got done. This piece I actually got done while I was away. It is from the club from last year from Quaker shop by the Stitching with the Housewives. It is the spring, I think it's called Stitching Seasons, I'm pretty sure they're called. I did do the call for colors because again I was in the kit, and then it was on 28 count pine board I think from that Fabric Flare. This is the piece that came from Hobby Lobby, and it just looks like that. I got a little wreath that I picked out, and I tied it with floral wire. I can't think of what it's called. And then on this one, I did just hot glue this board to the thing, put magnets on it, and then I can swap out the pieces. So, like I said, this is spring, which it's not in the middle, but sorry about the cough. But I also finished before I had previously had I think it was summer and winter finish, but autumn was my whip go call. Sorry about that. I started coughing and you don't want to listen to that. So the next one I have is my Autumn of the Stitching Seasons. It is my whip go call for the month of March, and I got it done. So I got both my March's whip goes done. So I'm really happy about that because I'm trying to get a lot of my whips out of there. I don't have a ton of whips. I think I have around 35, 40 of them, which is still a lot, but, it could be much worse. So I'm trying to get some of that knocked down. So, I had my pieces up instead of just sitting there waiting to get done. But again, this one is the Autumn Stitching Seasons. It is on the call for fabric of the 28 count pine board from Fabric Flare and the call for colors that came in the kit. I am not doing the fabric that came in the kit because I think it was Chelsea Checks is what it's called, but I didn't have a big piece for the back cover for where these sat on, and I only had the Priscilla's plaids, but then I had enough for these, so I just went ahead and finished them all with the Priscilla plaids so they would match. I don't know if it really matters since you can't see a ton of the black, but I just wanted it to match, so I'll use those for something else. But again, this is Autumn. And then I have Summer. Again, call for fabric, call for colors. And I'm just looking at it and it looks uneven here, so ignore that. Pretend it's even. And I have Winter. I did put the washers on the back of them, so they just on all of them, so they just click right there on the magnets and good to go. And I wanted to get all those done because if not, they would just sit there and wait for me to be finished. And I'm looking over there at my Buffalo Plaid series. Last summer, like middle of summer, I finished the summer. Summer is still not fully completed, so I need to be able to complete that next month so I can put it up. As these, I think the spring goes to May, so like for June, I need to get all the summer stuff up. So, and it'll be here before we know it. Time is just flying by, but so I need to get that done. That's why I needed to do it, because if not, it would just be laying there. The next one I have that I fully finished is my April calendar crates. It was a January whip go call, so I got that done. It is the Call for Colors. I was not a member of this club because I wasn't stitching yet when this was a club, but they had kits left over, so I went ahead and bought one of those. So it's the Call for Colors and the 14 count 14 count chalkboard Ada. And then I have the small. And this one I just like completed, afterwards. Sorry, it's a little crooked. I'll fix it in a minute. Just ignore that. But it's just on a magnet, that I put in there, so I can swap them out every month. And this was a little board thing that I got from Hobby Lobby. And they usually have them every season with some kind of little saying in it. And I put a piece of cardstock on the back of it and then, called it a day. The next one I have is for a birthday gift, so I'm not going to say who it's to just yet. In case they watch that, they probably have figured it out. But anyway, it is Sweet Wing Studios. I Can Do All Things Through Christ, I think is what it's called. This is on a mystery count of Mystic Fabric. Here at the local library, they had a craft swap last summer, and basically you just brought in like supplies that you didn't want like throughout the week, and then on like that, I think it was Saturday, they everybody could come in that donated something and pick up stuff. So somebody had donated a pack of I think it was 5 or 6 different fabrics in it that had mystic fibers, like a mystery pack, and I snatched that up right away. So I just did on that. I think I pulled out light colors for it. I don't think I might have changed a few of the colors. I can't remember, but it wasn't the actually call for colors. I just pulled from my stash. But and then I bought this frame from Walmart, and I put it on the sticky board with the batting in between it, and I think it turned out really pretty. So I'm really happy with that. I thought this frame was really pretty. Not your basic little frame, and it's one of the ones that can be hung up on a wall or sat on a shelf, so whatever they want to do with it. This next one, this was my Blessing sampler for 2025. It is by Chris the Camping Stitcher. She's here on Flosstube with the Flosstube channel, so go over and check her out. And then she also has an Etsy shop. This one was done on 28 count linen, the Colorade Legacy. I think it's Picture This Plus if I remember right. This is only the second time I've ever worked on linen, and it went terrible. But 28 count, I know it's bigger. But yeah. Everything went good with it, and I finished the exact same way on the sticky board with the batting in between and this in the frame, but I think it turned out really pretty. I don't remember what colorway it was. It was a color in cotton. If you go back to my January video, I'm sure you can, I said what the color is in it that though, but I did get it fully finished in January. So I think the saying is, if you got it done, your needle will be blessed all year, so hopefully I've been blessed for the year to get that all done. But it's all in good fun, so. But I think it turned out really great. So head over to the Chris the Camping Chris the Camping Stitcher, it's a tongue twister almost, but and watch her YouTube videos and check out her Etsy shop. Next, I have my finishes, not fully finished. So that's all my fully finishes, and then I have finishes. I have quite a few little stack here that a couple of them I started. I guess the first one I'll show you. This is my other whip go call for the month of March, and I apologize on this one. I should have cleaned this one off. This fabric that I got it I think from Amazon when I very first started cross stitching, and it's just really soft, and everything sticks to it. A lot of the Ada, is stiffer, but this is really soft, and just everything's bloop, right to it. So I'm not gonna put it up too close to the camera because you'll see all that fuzz, and if you see it here, I'm sorry. But this is Berry Basket.
Let's Go Ride a Whiteberry Basket by Stitching with the Housewives. I think it turned out really, really cute. Now I need to do a couple of the other ones because I think there's a whole like series. I don't know if there's 12 or how many. I don't. There's probably 12, like one for every month. But you need to do some more of those because it turned out really cute. But they are the I'm thinking of. They call for colors with the DMC conversions, and then of course in that Black Ada. This is May Flowers by Primrose Cottage Stitches. It is a call for colors. Most of them are DMC, but this was a fancy floss. I'm thinking about making this one a pillow because this is a small little finish, it'd be really cute. Just on 14 count white Ada. Anything like that, so it's really cute. The next one is Hare Garden by Stitching with the Housewives. It is on 14 count Black Ada, call for colors with the DMC conversions. This one came with a freebie too. I forget what it was called. It's like something about chicks and Easter bunnies or something. I don't know. Or rabbits. I don't know. I can't remember. I was hoping to get both of them done and get it finished and hung up because I did a couple of the berry roundabouts right over here in my kitchen and I was wanting to like swap them out every season, but I didn't get it done. So maybe next year. But I thought that turned out really cute. And next I have Welcome Spring. It is done on a white. Get all tongue tied. A white 14 count Ada that I dyed and then finished it up on that. They are the call for colors, but of course the DMC conversions. You can see my pattern. But I thought that turned out really cute. This was a block finish. I'm not for sure. I thought about kind of doing a pillow with this one too. I'm not for sure. I had this tier trade behind me, but I bought another one to go up on my counter. So I'm trying to think of things to fill and put it in it because I don't have a lot of pillows. I learned how to make pillows with Christmas with that, and I'm trying to think of some different things to put in that tier tray. And then I also would like to do a dough bow at one point, but I haven't done that yet, obviously. But this last one is Snowed in Bloom, I think is what it's called, by Stitching with the Housewives. This is one of the tier tray tidbits. This is 14 count Black Ada, call for colors with DMC conversions. If I didn't say that, that's my little motive there. So that is all of my fully finishes and my finishes. I'm going to pause right here to go ahead and get everything all cleaned up and bring out my whips and my new start. So I'll see you in just a bit. Bye.
Okay, I got all that put away, so now I'll go ahead and show you my whips. The very first one is not got a lot done on it. I don't know why I'm showing you, but it is Spring Quaker by Primrose Cottage Stitches. And I am doing this on 28 count mushroom, and I am doing the call for colors. I don't have this. Sorry, my help thingy. I am doing Blooming Crocus. And like I said, 28 count mushroom Lugana, which is not my favorite. Just have a little bit of start on that. So that's why I haven't worked on it. I don't know what it is about this fabric. I had got it originally to work on the one I'm going to show you next. And it was one of the very first things I started working on. And I just don't care for it. I work on a lot of Lugana, but it's not like this. Like, I don't know. The fabric like moves. It's just, I don't know. I just don't enjoy it. It's soft. I just don't like it. That's why I haven't got the next one I'm going to show you done. But I actually did work on this one quite a bit. I was actually really proud of myself. I almost got I got most of a page finished and then partly of another page. This one, and I'll have to insert a picture of this. I don't have my actual pattern in here, only my working pattern. Let me pull this group off so we can see it. I started this right when I started the other one, the Flea Market Flowers. But this one was for my birthday 2 years ago. Still not done. I am doing this one on 28 count mushroom and Classic Colorworks Aunt Marie's Violet. But this is what I got done. And mostly what I worked on, I finished this part up here, and then started in down here, and I got almost that whole page done. I'm sorry it's really wrinkly, but they say not to iron any, iron your work too much because it can tear it up. So sorry, but like I said, I got most of the little pieces up here done, and then started in down here. Got the house and the letters and started in on there. So I think for the rest of this page, I just need to finish to right here, and then I'll have that page done, and then I'll just have that last page over here. But looking good with that. Maybe by the end of the year, I'll have that one done. Let's make that a goal. May not happen, but I should make that a goal because it's been on the hoop way too long. 2 years is ridiculous. Next is one I took when I was in that little slump and got this one worked on. This one is Less Beyond Measure by Stitching with the Housewives. And this is on that fabric I had did that Let's Ride a Bike because I started at the same time. And before I only had part of this done. So I got quite a bit worked on this one. Sorry, I heard Doritos nails. Hopefully he doesn't start barking as I look out the window. But so I'm happy with that one. I need to go back and work on it some more. I'm not doing completely call for colors, but a lot of the call for colors with a couple of DMC conversions, but as you see there. So it's a kind of combination of actual call for and then call for DMC. I started that for Mother's Day, I think last year. Should have put that down for this one. This is the a whip go for this month. I'll have to insert a picture of it. This is Shane and Christine, and it's called Sugar Plum Village. I am doing this on 27 count light taupe. And what I did, I finished up the border of the green and the hearts. I think I was over here somewhere, so I finished that and went up that way, and then started in the first section of the house. Sorry, there's a thread sticking out, but get the gist. Really happy with how that's looking. It's really pretty. I'm not going to say I want it hopefully by Christmas, but there's no way this will be done by Christmas. I know myself. I'll be good if I touch it again. It's very easy to work on. It's just, not much. I was watching the Resident on Netflix, which is a really good show. If you like kind of like murder mystery, it's a good one to check out. It's about a murder in the White House, and trying to figure out and all the people in it are ridiculous. But I thought it's really fun. And this next one, I'll have to insert a picture of this one also. I only have my working copy in it. It is How Doth the Busy Bee by Modern Folk Embroidery. And let me take it off of here. I am doing this one on with Parrot and Robin's floss and the coloring Daffodil. It is working up so pretty. And I want to say this is on 16 count Mirage, I think. This is one I started this since I've been gone, but I should have been done with this one, but I'm not. It's so pretty. It looks good on camera. Oh, sorry, that made noise. It's really pretty. I've not used a lot of variegated floss like this, so it's a big change for me from going from, just barely anything variegated to like very variegated, but I think it's looking amazing. It's really pretty. Hopefully you can see that. And then next is one I just started. I'm doing another Parrot and Robin's floss too. Let me show you one that's actually still all pretty versus the microphone. Versus the one that I had done. This is in the colorway Night. It's mainly dark black with very light gray. It's nice. It's really pretty. This is on a 16 count Stormy Night. And like I said, I'm going to show you, I only have my working copy in here, not the actual pattern. It is Blackbird Sampler by Pansy Patch Quilt and Stitchery. And I only worked on this a couple of days, but I got quite a bit of done on it. Had the flaws. I'm working on the border. So there's not a lot done on it, but I'm happy with what I got done. For just, one day's worth to work. Maybe a day and a half or so maybe 2 days, but I think it's really going to be a really pretty fabric on it. I'm happy to get this one worked on. You see all your whips you haven't worked on. You're like, oh, I'll work on that. I'll work on that. You can't work on everything every day. And then next, let's see. I guess I'll do my birthday sampler. This one, I think I might restart part of it. It is Violet's Blue by Blackbird Designs. Now, when I went to get the floss for this, I went to Rogue Stitching here in Louisville, which they are the dyers behind Atomic Ranch, and I didn't take this with me. And when I look at this, I mean, I know when you take a picture, it looks different than what it is in person. And to me, it looks very purple, which purple is my favorite color. But the colors are not purple in person. And I know dye lots do change, but you're supposed to use stepping stone, which is kind of like a gray purple. Stone, which is variegated a brown and purple. And then River Rock, which is kind of like a muddy purple. It's not. But to me, I don't like it. And I did do, I'm doing this on a 16 count of the Mystic fabric that I got from that little pack. And I did do one color of the purple on it, but I'm just not liking it. So what I did, I had seen an advertisement for color and cotton for a purple gradient. So I just ordered that. It should actually probably be here in the next couple of days. I saw yesterday it got shipped. So I would think by next week I should have it. So what I decided to do, I did that first one. And I was like, I just don't like it. So I'm working on the border. Get that needle out of the way. I'm working on the border, and I thought I'm just gonna, work on this. I worked on this about 2 days or so, because every time I look at it, I'm like, and I think I'm gonna rip that out, and then I'm gonna change my purples, because I just don't like it. But the border, at least, it's fine. It's pretty, but like I said, I don't know if it looks like it to you, but in person, to me, they look like dark purples, but in person, it does not look purple. It's like very gray, muddy, and like I said, I just don't like it. So, and at first I was like, oh, well, I bought all this floss. I'm just going to go ahead and do it. But then I was like, every time I work on this, I'm going to hate it. So I need to find, and I realize it's only like, what, $10 worth of floss that for those 3 colors that I wouldn't use if I don't use it on something else. But so I ordered, and I pulled out some DMCs, which I actually kind of thought about going with some of those, but decided to pull out the gradient. Hold on just a minute.
Sorry about that. I had to pause for a minute. My daughter needed me really quickly. So I'll show you my last new start that I have. It is Primrose Cottage Stitches Rainbow Drop Kisses. I did make some changes to this. None of them are the call for colors. I just kind of pulled colors from my stash, and then I changed all of the pink to purple. I am doing this, I just started this yesterday, so it's a really quick stitch. I am doing mine on 27 count light taupe. I think it's looking really good. What made me want to do this one, because I've had it in my stash for a while, but I have the Primrose Cottage Stitches, I think it's called Bunny Kisses, up, and with, Easter, I'm going to be over this weekend, I need to start changing everything out, so I needed something that I could put up in the meantime, and I thought that would work out really well. What do you decorate for after Easter? Do you jump into like more summery stuff? What do you do? Because I'm trying to think about what I should be changing some of these things out to. Because should I go ahead and get my bee stuff out yet? or more wait till more towards June. But then you got the strawberry stuff. So when do you decorate with stuff? I'm thinking next month I'm going to start pulling out my bee stuff to work on. I have quite a few of the Primrose Cottage stitches patterns that I bought last year that I didn't get done yet. So I'm planning to get those out and work on those and everything. And now I have my haul. I know the hauls can be kind of triggering right now with economy and everything getting all tight. This is stuff I bought over the last month before, all this stuff started. So, hopefully it doesn't offend you to have, this haul. But, I planned after this, and then I did go ahead and buy the Primrose Cottage stitches last release that was yesterday. But after that, I plan to start, reeling it in and not, buying a lot. But so there is quite a bit. So if this is triggering for you, I'm very sorry. Maybe skip ahead like 3 or 4 minutes, and then you can catch my Flosstube recommendations. The very first one was I went here in Louisville to Rogue Stitching, which is Atomic Ranch, the dyers behind that. And I know I said that was a little bit earlier, but I want to say it again just in case I missed hearing that. But they opened a shop here about a year ago. It's a pretty small shop. They don't have a ton of patterns in it yet. I think they're kind of working towards that. They do have some of their fabrics, not everything, but some. And then they do have a good selection of floss. So I went there looking for floss for the Blackbird for my birthday. And then when I was in there, they had a couple of the 2025 market releases. So I got that one. I got the Heart and Hands Nativity Tiny Town. And then I got the Frill too. I've never done any of these. I do have a couple of them. I think I have the honeybee one, and I have the Valentine's Day one, but I haven't done any of them yet. So I'm hoping to get some of these done. And then I got Cherry Hill Stitchery, Puddle Positivity, and the top one says Stronger Than the Storm, and the bottom says Dancing in the Rain. I thought those were really cute. And then I did buy one piece of fabric. I bought a 16 count in the colorway Freezy. It's kind of like a gray color with a blue undertone. And I thought that might be good for the nativity one to go on. But also the puddle one will look good on that gray too. And then I put the order in at Primrose for last month. I got the Free Stitch Friday April, the kit. And then it comes with a freebie. Let me see if I see it on my other things. I don't know where they went. Oh, they fell. Hold on. Sorry. It is stickers that we got this month. Sometimes in the past they've done like a needle minder or stuff like that, or a pin was what one month was. I haven't got every single month, but I've gotten quite a few of them, and I like the little kit. This is a 2025 market release. It is Rebel Stitcher Disagree. And I know there's a couple of stitch-alongs going along with this one right now. Then I got Beautiful Things. And then I bought the floss pack with it too. This was released, I think, last year or last summer. And then the release that was last month was Stitcher's Gonna Stitch, the Stitcher's Trio. Thought that was really cute. And then a lot of people are doing the bag with it too. I didn't get the bag, but I thought that was really cute. And then I bought the finishing kit for it. And it comes with a button, the little trim that goes around there, and then trim with that, and then the fabric. And then lastly, I got an order from 123 Stitch. I got a couple pieces of fabric. This is 16 count Ancient. I have a Blackbird I've got going on right now on this, and I really like it. I think it's pretty. And then I got Murky. I've never worked on Murky, but made for Michelle McGraw. She really likes this one, and I think I want to try some of the ones she does. I'm gonna take a drink real quick. I'm gonna start coughing. Sorry. And then I got 16 count Stone. It's got a lot of modeling. And this is 16 count Twilight. And then a little blue with like snowballs. Thought that'd be good for winter. Then I got quite a few patterns. You know, they can't travel alone. I got Happiness is Heart Made, the Heart Alphabet Cat. Sorry. Spring Crow and Strawberry. Blossom and Birds by Erin Elizabeth. This one's so pretty. Caught in the Swirl by Kathy Barrett. I think that was a market release last year, and I really, really liked it. And then I got some Blackbirds. This is How Does a Lily Grow? She Sights a Bird. Winds of Autumn. I've really wanted this one for quite a while, and I really want to do this one. It's really pretty. Strawberry Fields. These last two were I was influenced by from Holly from Mrs. Jones Stitches. She has been doing these a lot of Blackbirds, and then kind of doing her own spin with it, with changing the colors up from color and cotton. And both of these she did, and I thought they're really pretty. Winters is Past. So go over to her channel and check her channel out for her floss conversions on those. So they're really pretty. And this one's Honeysuckle Manor, and she did this one right here, which is really pretty. So hopefully if you don't like haul, hopefully I got through it quickly for you, and if you like haul, I hope it wasn't too quick for you. So not to defend, because I know nobody has to defend like what they spend their own money on, but I know what things going on right now. It's a little rough. Before we go, I want to go ahead and give you a couple of Flosstube recommendations. I think Flosstube recommendations are really important because it helps you find different channels. I'm a really small channel. I have under 1,000 subscribers, and you know it's not important, but it helps a lot when people get, you know, shout out different channels, and it helps get people to watch your channel because there's so much out there. It's hard to, you know, kind of find everything. So the very first one is Kate B Stitching. She is a newer Flosstube. I think she has like 4 Flosstubes. I think I might be wrong on that, but she has a really good pillow tutorial. She shows like the invisible to closure at the bottom. So I think my next pillow finish, I'm gonna try that one because I just learned to make pillows last December during when I was doing some ornaments, and I did on the back. So I think I might give that a try because it was really, I watched it and it looked like it was really easy to follow and go along with that. So head over and check out her channel. She's got really pretty finishes and projects she's working on, and then that pillow tutorial is really cool. And then lastly is Jennifer Spence. She is a newer Flosstuber also, if I could talk. I think she either just recently moved or she moved right before she started her Flosstube from pretty far away. So I think Texas, from I think Indiana or Illinois. I'm sorry if I have that totally wrong, please excuse me. But she has fantastic finishes she's doing also. But one of the things that she's doing is really cool is she's doing some zooms. There was one just the other night, and while I would love to go to it, but my kids, I have a loud house. I have 3 kids. They're just loud people, and you know, it's hard to like be quiet, you know, so I can get it on the Zoom or whatever. But I think she's having one this weekend, so I might try to get on that. So go over to her channel and watch her Flosstube, and she'll tell you how to be able to join into the Zoom. So, and she'll give you all the information about that. So check over and check out both these ladies' channels. I know you'll thoroughly enjoy them. I plan to be back in 2 weeks, maybe 3. I like to film on Tuesdays typically because it's just calmer and quieter, but of course today's Friday because last Tuesday didn't work out. But we have an appointment at Cincinnati that Tuesday, so I know I won't be able to film that day. But their kids are out of school Friday for Oaks, so I might try to do that. Only in Kentucky do you get a day off from school for a 2-minute horse race that happens after school. So you gotta love the Kentucky area. But We've been doing that since I was in elementary school, probably before me even. But yeah, so well, I hope that if you're in the Louisville area, you have a fantastic Derby season holiday. Because yes, it's a holiday around here. I hope the Easter goes well for you if you celebrate Easter, and if not, I hope you have a great week and happy stitching. Bye.